Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Gunna in this YSL RICO indictment in the state of Georgia, right? Now, Gunna was in court today. Young Thug is in court today as well. And they were both hoping to get bond, man. Now, they were denied bond earlier because they went in front of a lower level judge, and it was told to them, nah, they have to see a higher level judge because it's a Georgia State RICO case. And today, Gunna went before a judge, and the news just broke that he was denied bond. Now, this came as a surprise to a lot of people because it always felt like Gunna was just lumped into this thing. You know, most people view Gunna as an artist purely, right? More of a fashion guy, you know, not really in the streets, gang banging or repping any sort of gang. And even some of the things listed in the indictment where he, you know, allegedly wore a YSL chain, said some lyrics in a song, it just seemed like, you know, some trumped up charges, to be real. I'm not saying that they are, because there might be more evidence that we find out during the course of the trial. And obviously there was enough evidence for the judge to say, no, you're not getting any bond. You're going to stay in jail for this RICO indictment, man. Now, this doesn't mean this will be their only swing at that, but I want to talk about what took place in court today and the story that was released by the Channel 11 News there. Now, before we get to the specifics and talk about all these details, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, so let's talk about this story from the Atlanta local news there, man. Channel 11 Live News, and the headline says this. It says, Atlanta rapper Gunna denied bond by Fulton County judge. A judge denied bond to several alleged members of the Young Slime Life street gang on Monday, including rapper Sergio Kitchens, aka Gunna. Now, I don't know, man. I got a weird feeling about this, man. Seems like they coming down on these cats hard, but when you look at how serious this is, I mean, we are talking about a RICO case, and we're talking about them looking at a lot of years, but them not getting bond in this situation seems like to be standard practice. Like if you looked at Casanova's RICO case, and I know his case was federal, it wasn't a state case, but it was no bond. Same thing with Pooh Shiesty, you know what I mean? So it looks like, man, you know, in a lot of these situations, when it's a RICO indictment, the standard seems like they're not going to give you any type of bond, right? Now, the story goes on to say this. At this time, the judge has not yet mentioned whether rapper Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, will be denied bond as well. The two rappers, along with more than 24 others, have been indicted on crimes stemming from gang-related charges. Williams, in particular, is accused of being a founder and active leader of the violent Young Slime Life street gang. The indictment mentions specific criminal charges regarding an overt act in furthering of the conspiracy and an act of racketeering to advance gang interests. Now, they're talking specifically there about Young Thug and him supposedly being the founder of this gang and him, you know, being the head, so looking at a lot more time, you know, you would think. But when you think about Gunna, I mean, a lot of the things that he's being alleged to be, you know, involved with in this RICO case, it all sprang up from that 2017 case, from what I've seen in the indictment, you know, and from what's been put out there in the news. And it seems like a lot of this is just him being lumped into the case. I know I keep saying that, but that's what it feels like, man. Now, Gunna is obviously going to, you know, get the same treatment as everybody on this indictment. And it looks like, according to this story, several people have bbeen, you know, denied bond in this RICO case. And I wonder if that's just a standard. Like, you in a RICO case, nah, you ain't getting no bond. You know, we don't want you out there, you know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I mean? But in hip hop, it seems like the RICO cases we've seen, you know, getting denied bond seems to be common practice. Now, the story continues by saying this. It says, he is currently being held in Cobb County Jail. And when they say he, they're talking about Young Thug. Though his lawyer has been working to get him out on bond, calling for an emergency hearing over what they call, in quotes, more humane, non-torturous housing while he is in custody. So basically talking about the facility that he's in. And I got another video coming where we're talking about that. And his lawyer recently did an interview, and that's Young Thug's lawyer, right? Now, the story continues by saying when Williams' lawyer previously asked the judge for bond, they said Williams was a flight risk. His attorney said he has substantial ties to the Atlanta area and that there's no evidence against him, that he is, in quotes, has done nothing to try to obstruct justice or try to hinder people from turning themselves in or being arrested. So saying that he's in full cooperation and he has ties to the Atlanta area. So Young Thug, the likelihood of him trying to be a flight risk or him going somewhere outside of Atlanta to get away from this case is highly unlikely. And I'm wondering, all I see is Young Thug's lawyer in the media, you know, he's doing interviews and things like that. I got a whole video coming where I broke down his interview or whatever, and he makes a lot of claims about each and every charge against Young Thug. And a separate news story, man, that talked about Gunna's bond being denied. Gunna's defense attorney, a guy by the name of Steve Sadow, proposed a list of conditions for the rapper's bond, including a $750,000 secured bond, house arrest with electric monitoring, forfeiture of 3 properties, and that Gunna's parents would also put up their homes. So they came with a big bond package, you know, in this bond hearing, basically saying that, yo, we'll put all this up just to have Gunna out on bond. Now, according to Channel 2's Michael Seaton, prosecutors Don Geary argued that Gunna should be denied bond because he's one of the main people of YSL. Geary accused Gunna of being in command position, directing hits on rival gang members. Now, Gunna's attorney fired back, calling those allegations false. He also said Gunna has no intentions of directing hits and even offered a consenting to a wiretap of the rapper's phone. So basically, Gunna's attorney came to court and said, yo, you can have all this information, we could put up this much money, $750,000 secured bond, all these different properties, and you could tap his phone and put him on electric monitoring. And they still didn't go for that, man. They still didn't go for that. Now, the judge denied bond and sided with the prosecution, expressing concerns over the safety of witnesses. Now, they're basically saying that Gunna is a shot caller or somebody who could call certain shots within the YSL organization, and they don't want him to be able to, you know, use that power on the outside. Now, do I think that's a stretch? Yes, I believe that is a stretch. I don't think Gunna is out here telling people to do hits or anything like that, like they said here. They said directing hits and stuff like that. But, you know, you never know, right? Now, Sadow responded by telling the judge that no one would be allowed to see his client unless they are on a list. He also said that they will pay to record all conversations. Now, Gunna has a scheduled trial date of January 9th, 2023. Now, that is a very long time to be in jail, man. That is over 7 months away. And man, the seriousness is coming down because they put up everything but the kitchen sink in order to try to get Gunna out of jail, or at least to get him bond. And they weren't going for it, man. Looks like they just weren't going for it. Now, with that, what do you guys think, man? Do you think that Gunna is getting a bad deal in this? Or is this just a situation of, man, you know, we'll have to see it play out in court and see what they have and why they're making these assumptions that Gunna would be out here directing hits and stuff like that if he was on the street. Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.